Vande Vrindavanacharam Vallavijana Vallabham Jayanti Sambhavam Dhama Vaijayanti Vibhushanam. Yeah, so we have to start. We finished with the 28th Sloka. Anakanam Divyanam, Anakanancha Divyanam, Dundubhinancha Nisvanaihi, Sahajatam Yamachakyuhu, Akhyaya, Anaka Dundubhim. So by name, Vasudeva's first name, the name that he was given was Anaka Dundubi, which is more an Anvarthanama here. Because both the divine instruments of Anaka and Dundubhi sounds were sounding, the instruments were resounding when he was born. So he was given the same name. So Vasudeva's other name is Anaka Dundubhi. Now he okay, after that only he has to, okay, we have a couple of descriptions of Vasudeva and then we move on to his two wives. Tena nirmala sattvena vinivritta rajastamaha jagati shantamoha iva dharma uchvasavati babhau. Tena nirmala sattvena tena saha nirmala sattva ityukte, one who does not have any rajas or tamoguna. He is predominantly sattva guna. He is very pure. Nirmalaha saha yataha sattva pradhanaha vartate iti karanat nirmala sattvena tena, one who has the sattva gunam in him, which is that sattva gunam is nirmala. Nirmala here is an adjective to sattva guna. So nirmalam sattvam yasya tena Anaka Dundubhina Vasudevena Jagati Bhumi Uchvasavati Babhau. This Bhumi was shining as if she was relieved of all her moham here, and she started regaining consciousness in the garb of dharma. Till now, there were too many of these Kamsa and other asuras who were Rakshasas who were just destroying the earth, and suddenly, just because of Vasudeva, it seemed as if for a brief moment there was dharma pradhanam there, and so it was like dharma was her prana shvasa, and Bhumi seemed like she had breath in the form of dharma here. So if you fall unconscious and you have to regain conscious, you say they regained their breath, right? So here for Bhumi, she was completely deluded, and she was like in an unconscious state because of all the adharma that was going around. And suddenly, because of Vasudeva's birth, Vasudeva was like a breath of fresh air, or here we take it as breath of dharma for her. Nirmala sattvena tena, because of Vasudeva, who had this sattva gunam, which was very pure sattva guna, vinivritta rajastamaha, this goes to Bhumi as an adjective. Okay, only these two are for Vasudeva, who is now in Tritiya Vibhakti as a karanam here. Because of Vasudeva, who had sattva pradhanaha saha iti karanat, because of that, now what happened on the earth? Jagati, Bhumihi, she was relieved of both rajas and tamas. Vinivrittam, Visheshena nivrittam, Visheshena apastam. Both rajoguna and tamoguna were especially removed because of the presence of Vasudeva here. So vinivritta rajas tamaha jagati. It is in Strilinga padam as an adjective to jagati here. So if you see vinivritte apagate rajas tamasi yasyaha sa. So because tamas is a sakaranta padam, tamas is usually napunsakalinga padam, but when it is taken as an adjective to a padam which is strilingam, you will have to decline it as sakaranta strilinga padam. So tamaha iti. Okay, so vinivritta rajastamaha jagati, Bhumi, which was devoid of, which was from whom rajas and tamas were removed completely. Shantamoha iva, as if her moham, delusion was shantam, was removed. That was also completely removed for her. Shantamoha iva, as if her moham was gone and she regained her consciousness. Dharma uchvasavati babhau. She shined like a person who had this uchvasa. Uchvasam is a breath of dharma. Dharmaha eva uchvasaha tadvati. So that tadwan or tadvati, one who has that, tadasyaha asti iti. Tena nirmalasattvena vinivritta rajastamaha jagati shantamoha iva dharma uchvasavati bhavo. So just as a person who goes into unconscious state, when he goes into unconscious state, there is more of tamoguna in him. If that tamoguna is removed, then there is only nirmala sattvam where there is a prakashatvam there, and he also regains his consciousness. How can that come about? Only when you remove your delusions about adharma and you realize that there is the light of dharma or the breath of dharma which can keep you conscious. So that's how she was. That's how Bhumi was here. Okay, is that clear? Someone wants to go over the Pratipadartha? Yeah.
Nirmalam akalankam rajah tamaha gunas sambandha bhavat sattvam sattvagunah yasya tena.
So you understood Nirmalam ityukte akalankam.
Akalankam.
So without any malam, without any
akalankam.
Impurities.
Yes. Rajah tamaha guna sambandha abhavat sattvam sattvagunah yasya tena.
So there is no sambandha abhava, means there is no connection of rajoguna, and tamoguna sambandhasya abhavaha, because there is an absence of both rajas and tamas. There is only sattvam there. What does nirmalam mean? Nirmalam because there is no rajas and tamas, and he has only sattva-guna. Yeah. Yeah. Tena
is Vasudevena.
Vasudevena.
Nivritta rajastamaha. Vinivritta rajastamaha. Vinivritte apagate rajastamasi rajogunat tamogunau. Vinivritte is
Vinivritte means apagate.
Apagate. Vinivritte apagate. Rajastamasi.
Rajastamasi, what is the form here? Rajaha cha, tamaha cha. You will have to do it like Rama Lakshmana. So tamaha tamasi tamamsi. Tamaha tamasi tamamsi. Adnala, it is in dvivachanam here.
Dvivachanam. Rajaha tama. Rajasta tamascha. Okay. Rajo guna tamo gunau. That is also dvivachanam.
Yes.
Yasyaha sa apagata rajastamo guna jagati bhumihi dharmochvasavati. Dharma uchvasavati, is it?
Yes.
Dharmabhivriddhi mati sati.
Abhivriddhi mati. So dharmasya vriddhihi bhavati iti karanat tatra dharmaha eva uchvasa iva vartate. There is an increase of dharma when Vasudeva was born.
So there is a personification that if breath is itself dharma, your dharma field, is it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Dharmochvasa. Okay. Shantamoha iva apagatam moodheva babhau achakat.
Achakat na chakasti, or it is lung. I think achakat is lung lakara here. Yeah, achakat is lung only. Okay, chakasti.
Bhavaha yatha murchitaha स्तब्धश्वासः निर्मलविद्येन भिषजा परिचरितः मूर्छापगमे साधु समुच्छ्वसिति
Samuchvasiti. It is a verb here.
Okay. Samuchvasiti.
Shvasiti irukku illaya? Sam ut upasarga shvasiti.
Okay. तथा भूमिरपि निर्मलसत्त्वगुणयुक्तेन तेन वासुदेवेन पालिता रजस्तमोगुणनिवृत्त्या धर्मोच्छ्वासं लब्ध्वा सम्यक् प्राकाशत.
So what does it mean? Yatha murchitaha. Just as how a person who has lost his consciousness, murcham upagataha, stabdha shvasaha, his breath is also slowed down. It's stopped actually. Nirmala vidyena bishaja. So vaidyena, by bishak is a vaidyaha. Let's say there is a doctor who has vidya which is very clear. There is no confusion at all in his mind. So nirmala vidyena bishaja, by a doctor who has very clarity in his learning. Paricharitaha, he has been attended to. This person who has lost his consciousness is being attended by a doctor who is very well versed and intelligent. Murcha apagame, when his consciousness is removed, when his unconscious state is gone, sadhu samuchvasiti, he also breathes very well. When the doctor attends to him and he loses his unconscious state and comes back to consciousness. Tatha, in the same manner, bhumirapi, this earth also, nirmala sattva yuktena tena vasudevena, by Vasudeva, who has this sattvagunam pradhanam, sattvagunam, a lot of sattvaguna in him, palita, being protected by Vasudeva, rajastamo guna nivrittya, there is no rajas or tamas in the bhumi, in the people in that bhumi during the rule of Vasudeva. Dharma uchvasam labdva, as if she has gotten that breath of dharma. Samyak prakashata, so usually color comes back in Grolya. When a person regains the consciousness, he is able to breathe well, then that blue color and all goes away and he regains color. So in the same way, she also shines with because of that the prosperity. Alankaraha. Visheshaha.
Shantamoha iva ityatra utprekshalangkaraha.
So utpreksha alankaraha is usually sambhavana. It's a fancy. So the bhumi is an achetana vastu here, wherein you cannot say she's a person who was unconscious before and now she has regained consciousness, is something that the poet fancies here. It's like the cartoon thingy, where there are eyes for the earth and it just closes and then it opens in Gramadri or a cartoon figure. So it's more of a fanciful way of expressing things. So it is utpreksha alankara. Then there is moha
uchvasa shabdabhyam aprastutasya murchitasya upamanasya dhvanihi.
Tena upamalankara dhvanischa. So what happens here, this whole story of a person who has lost his consciousness and then there is a doctor attending to him, then he starts breathing properly. This entire thing is not at all mentioned here. There is only this utpreksha of shantamoha iva. That's all is there. There is no question of a unconscious person who is being attended by a doctor. But that image is dhvani. It is suggested here because of certain words, because of this utpreksha. Now this comparison is between something which is non-contextual, that is an unconscious person. Who is the non-context here? Aprastutasya, murchitasya, that becomes your upamanam. Because of the words used which are moha and uchvasa. These are the words that are being used here, and that gives rise to the upamanam, which is the story of a person who has lost his consciousness and regained consciousness. So why is that suggestion, that mind, what do we do with that suggestion here? We compare it to the prastutam and say upama is suggested here. Clear?
Okay. Mahodaya, This Vasudeva's wife is Devaki and Devaki's brother is Kamsa. So that means they're all more or less the same age, the same generation only. So how come Bhumi was having all these Kamsa will still be small child only when Vasudeva was born, even if he's elder to Vasudeva.
There are others
So
also
how
there.
come
There are
others
others.
are
Kalanemi எல்லாம் இருந்தா இல்லையா? Kamsa is actually the Kalanemi's இது இல்லையா? Avataram. Right? So she has been suffering for quite a long time now. Kamsa is not the only person. Shishupala is there. Dantavaktran is there. Shishupala and Dantavaktra are Jaya and Vijaya, to destroy whom Krishna had to take an avataram.
So that means that Shurasena, Ugrasena, their parental generation were not doing sufficiently good enough ruling.
And where did all of these Rakshasas come about to go and destroy Krishna there? What were they all doing? How do we determine the age group of them? They may be creating some issues wherever they were staying. Kamsa எல்லாரையும் திரட்டி போங்கடா கோகுலத்துக்குன்னா. So they must be creating troubles in all of those places. And Bhumi has been suffering with all those people also. Kamsa is not the only person. He just brought them together.
Okay.
சரி, யோசிக்கலாம். தேன நிர்மல சத்வேன வினிவிருத்த ரஜஸ்தமாக ஜகதி சாந்தமோஹேவ தர்ம உச்சாசவதி பபோ. Is this clear? Any doubts in this shloka?
What is the relationship of the question Kamsa here? What was her question?
Because she has been suffering and was fainting and all that, right? Because of all the adharma. So Kamsa, if he is just he will also be more or less close enough in the age to Vasudeva, and when he is born, even if he is elder, he'll be elder only. He will still be a baby only, maybe a small child only. So why was Bhumi
suffering so much? Who were the Rakshasas or who were the adharmic people who were causing so much of trouble for Bhumi? Yeah. Okay. So Vishnuriva Lokanam Tapanas Tejasamiva Samudraiva Ratnanam Satam Ekashrayo Abhut. We have seen this type of Malopama earlier also. Then Saha Lokanam Vishnuhu Iva. Lokanam Bhuvananam Athava Bhuvane Vidyamananam Jananam Vishnuhu Iva. He was like Vishnu for all of the people who were here in this Bhumi or in all the worlds. Just as how Vishnu is like a Palayita for all of the worlds. Vishnu is a sustenance, maintenance person. So Vishnu is the protector of all the worlds. In the same manner, Vasudeva was also the protector of all of the people in these worlds. Tapanaha tejasam iva. Tejo yuktanam vastunam madhye tapanaha iva. Suryaha iva. So among all of those things which have prakasha, which has a light, Surya, Tapanaha, the sun is the best among everything because the sun is the one that gives light to everything else. Right? It's only because of the sun that you have light for all of the other objects also. In the same manner, everybody could shine because of the presence of Vasudeva. Tapanaha tejasam iva. Just as the sun is for all the objects of light, Samudraha iva ratnanam. Just as Samudra, the ocean, is the Utpatti Sthanam for a lot of gems, in the same manner, Vasudeva Satam Ekashrayaha ऽभवत. He became the only resort for all of the good people. You can take the same meaning. Ekashrayaha is your Samana Dharma, which is applicable for all of those. Lokanam ekaha eva ashrayaha kaha Vishnuhu. For all of the worlds, Vishnu is the only person to whom we go to. Sarvadeva namaskaraha keshavam pratigacchati iti vadamaha. So if we have to surrender to any god, all of those namaskaras go only to Vishnu. So he is the support for every all of the lokas. Just as how Vishnu is the support for all of the lokas, the same manner, Vasudevaha eva satam ekashrayah. Sajjananam, Satpurushanam. He is the only source where people come and surrender to him. Next is Tejasam api tapanaha. So Prakashanam tapana, every graham, if it wants to show itself, it depends on the light of Surya for it to reveal itself. Even the moon shines because of the sun. Right? So Tejasam tapanaha eva ekashrayaha eva. For all types of gems, Samudra, the ocean is the only source. For Bhumi, there are other Bhumi Bhagas where there are other places where you can get Ratnam and all, but we are only talking about here. Just it's because it is a Ratnakara. Any type of Ratnam, its source is only Samudra. In the same manner, Vasudeva was also present. Okay. Pratipadartha. Ningle Pidingo.
Saha Vasudeva.
Vasudeva. அதுக்குள்ள வாசுதேவனுக்கு போயிட்டு அது அடுத்த சர்க்கத்துல தான் வரும்.
Vasudeva, okay, sorry. Saha Vasudevah Lokanam Bhuvananam Vishnu iva Sriman Narayana iva Tejasam Prakashanam Tapana iva Surya iva. Okay. Ratnanam Pushyaraga Ragadi Maninam. Okay. Whatever there is in the sea. Samudra iva Cha Sagara iva Satam Satpurushanam Ekashrayah Advitiyah Ashrayah ऽभवत आसीत.
This is clear, right? Advitiyaha, no second to him. Bhava.
Yadha Viṣṇuः bhuvanānaṁ Suryah prakāṣānaṁ Samudrah ratnānaṁ ca advitiyah ashrayah tatha Vasudevah satpuruṣānaṁ advitiyah ashrayah āsīt. Malopamala.
Mala Upama Alankaraha. So Malopama is a type of Alankara wherein you have different Upamanam. There is one Upameya. Saha iti Vasudevaha Ekaha Upameyaha. There are different Upamanam, which is Vishnuhu, Tapanaha, Samudraha. These are all different Upamanam. There can be different Sadharana Dharmas, or there can be just one Sadharana Dharma. For here, it is just one Sadharana Dharma wherein you say Ekashrayaha, the only source or the only support is the Sadharana Dharmam, common factor which is common to both the Upamana and the Upameya. Is that clear? Malangarche, it's like a garland of Upamas that are there. That's
okay.
All.
So if there are Bhinna Dharmas, then it's not Malopama, right?
It is also Malopama, but you say it as Bhinna Sadharana Dharma Malopama. There are two, this thing.
What would the example for that be?
அதுக்கு பத்தா போறது கோலையானந்தம் எடுக்கலாமா?
This is similar, therefore, right?
சரி. I can't find it in Kolyananda suddenly, quicker. Maybe next time before the class, I'll try to find out another example from Kolyananda itself. Malopama Durga. Abhinna Sadharana Dharma. And this is where we are. Okay. So you can have Bhinna Sadharana Dharmam or Abhinna Sadharana Dharmam.
And this Pushya Ragam is same as Pushpa Ragam, right?
Same, yes.
That is not there in Samudram, right? That is a land precious gem, right?
Maybe, but then...
At least if it was coral or something, then it is...
See, in general, Ratnakaraha...
There are a lot of stones. There's a Pushparagam yellow sapphire that comes from the sea as well, madam.
Yes.
There is a whole bunch of stones called Samudrakani, which appears, it is a sea-based gemstone of all the land-based gemstones.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So you get a Samudrakani of Neelam, everything.
Okay. I didn't know that. Nice. Interesting. स विष्णुरिव लोकानां तपनस तेजसामिव समुद्रैव रत्नानां सताम एकाश्रयो अभवत्. Next is about his two wives. Prakhyata vibhave patnyau tasya purvam prajapatehe rohini devaki rupe manushyatve babhuvatuhu. Manushyatve api tau eva te eva patnyau babhuvatuhu. The same two people who were his wives when he was in the Kashyapa avatara, those two, that is Surabhi and Aditi, they were his wives here also in the avataram of Vasudeva also. Purvam prajapatehe tasya prakhyata vibhave patnyau. Tasya prajapatehe patnyau iti prakhyata vibhave. That is when he was a Kashyapa Prajapati. He had married many people. I think 13 of Daksha's children, all of them were Kashyapa's wife. So Prajapati Rupena Yada Saha Asit Purvam Vasudevaha Tada Kashyapasya Bharye Surabhihi Aditi cha Astam. So Prakhyata Vibhave, ones whose Vibhava is wealth. They, as wives in those days, the wealth of a wife is pativratyam. So prakhyata vibhave ityukte, they were well known for following their husband in all manner. So they were known to be very prosperous also, in the sense that they had that pativratyam with them. Those two wives followed him in the manushyatvam also. Followed Kashyapa Prajapati when he took the avataram of a Manushya, as in Vasudeva, Manushyatve. In the Manushya Bhavam also, Rohini Devaki Rupe Babhuvatuhu. They took the form of Rohini and Devaki also. A very simple shloka. Just need to go over the Pratipadartha.
Anvaya Purvam Prajapatehe Tasya Prakhyata Vibhave Patnyau Manushyatve Rohini Devaki Rupe Babhuvatuhu.
So babhuva, babhuvatuhu, babhuvuhu. This is dvivachanam lit for bhudhatu. Purvam
Prajapatehe Vasudeva Rupinodpattehe Prak Kashyapa Prajapati Rupasya
Vasudeva Rupena Utpattehe Prak. Before the Utpatti, before the avataram or being born in the form of Vasudeva. So Vasudeva Rupena Utpattehe Prak. What form did he have? Kashyapa Prajapati Rupasya.
Tasya Vasudevasya Prakhyata Vibhave Prasiddha Pativritye Patnyau Surabhi Aditi Cheti Bharye Manushyatve Manushya Bhave Rohini Devaki Rupe Rohini iti Devaki iti cha Prathite Babhuvatuhu Astam.
Prathita also means Prasiddha. Okay? Known, well known. Aditi, Diti, adikaparam. Aditi, we know, is the mother of all the Devas, Adityas also. Diti is the mother of Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Daityas. And then Danu's children are Danavas. Surabhi. Actually, Surabhi is the mother of the cows, right? And then you have Kadru, who is the mother of snakes. Vinata, Garuda's mother. These are all some of the wives of Kashyapa.
Marudgana also.
Marudganas are Diti's children.
Oh.
Prasiddha.
Oh, that's how he is a Prajapati. So he actually is the father of
So Ella Jantukal, all living beings, in many branches of living beings came from, even birds.
Even we came from him only.
Yeah.
Bhavaha Prasiddha Pativrate Kashyapasya Bharye Surabhi Aditischa Tasya Manushya Bhave Rohini Devaki iti Rupabhyam Tasya Patnyau Abhutam.
See, because he uses iti, rohini, devaki, iti rupabhyam. When you say iti, you'll have to use those two words in prathama vibhakti. Otherwise, you say rohini devakyau or rohini devakyoho rupabhyam. You combine it together and make it into dvivachanam. Rohini iti, devaki iti, then you can that iti will point out to that word, and that word can be in prathama vibhakti. Clear? Yeah. Vyakarana Vishesha is just the Vigraha Vakyam. Prakhyataha. For all of these, try as much as possible to do the Vigraha Vakyam and then send it to me whenever I have time. We can correct it, or you can send it to others and you can work with them. Okay? Try Vigraha Vakyam because it helps in the next level also. प्रख्यात विभवे पत्न्यौ तस्य पूर्वं प्रजापतेः रोहिणी देवकी रूपे मनुष्यत्वे बभूवतुः अक्षुत्र गतिशालिन्यौ तयोः सरी இது வந்து I have to talk about both paksha here, so we will do this next class. We'll stop with this. Vande Vrindavanacharam Vallavijana Vallabham Jayanti Sambhavam Dhama Vaijayanti Vibhushanam.